Hello, my name's Tom Starkey, and this is the video version of the presentation that I gave at the Student Introduction Day last Friday. That would be Friday the 5th. So for those of you that were at the presentation, this is kind of a director's cut version of the presentation, and those of you that weren't, this will give you hopefully some insight into assistive technology and the way that we use assistive technology at the University of Leeds. As I said before, my name's Tom Starkey. I'm the Assistive Technology Advisor for the University of Leeds. My email is t.m.starkey@leeds.ac.uk. My phone number is 0113 34 34836, and I'm situated in room G88 in the Chemistry West building of Disability Services. So, it's always good to start with a definition as to what assistive technology is, so we're all on the same page when we're talking about it. The World Health Organization defines assistive technology as assistive devices and technologies are those whose primary purpose is to maintain or improve an individual's functioning and independence, to facilitate participation and to enhance overall well-being. So that is the World Health Organization definition, and it's one that I like to use when talking about assistive technology in general. The World Health Organization doesn't mention disability, and that's interesting and I think pertinent, because when it comes to assistive technology, I don't like to think of it as being necessarily linked to disability or difficulty or challenges that people may face. For me, assistive technology comes under the bracket of inclusive practice, and inclusive practice for me is best practice and shouldn't be linked to a particular area. It should be exhibited across the board, especially in educational institutions. But anyway, what does that general ethos look like in the university itself? Well, in Leeds, assistive technology takes on a number of different forms. Firstly, we have cluster technology, which is things like JAWS, which is a screen reading technology for students with visual impairment and blindness. Read and Write, which is a toolbar that you can use to further access online documents if you have literacy difficulties or challenges. We have Mind Genius, which is a mind mapping software to help planning and organization of things like longer pieces of writing or projects in a less traditional, less linear way than is usually accepted. We have Dragon Naturally Speaking, which is a speech to text system where you can essentially type things using your voice, a dictation machine as it were. And these assistive features are available on certain PCs at the university. They're not available on every single PC, unfortunately. They're available in certain PCs, and you'd have to ask your library to tell you which PCs they were available on. But it means that you can travel to the university to certain areas and use the assistive technology that perhaps you may need, or perhaps may make your working day that little bit more easy. Accompanying that, the university likes to heavily promote mobile and online apps, not necessarily just to do with assistive technology, but things that will assist students. So, for instance, we like to point students towards things like screen readers, mind maps, and in particular my kind of interest, productivity and organizational tools. So things like calendars, to-do lists, reminder apps, trigger apps, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Also communication tools that allow you to effectively communicate with one person, a group of people, when you are not in their physical space, which is sometimes extremely important when it comes to organisation of time and when it comes to collaboration and group work. We also have adaptive technologies, which take the form of more traditional physical assistive technology, ergonomic peripherals such as mice that are not necessarily the traditional form. I term them as handshake mice that allow easier access for students with limited mobility. We have things like raised desks, lowered desks, physical magnifiers that you can hold in your hand rather than online magnifiers and such. A more traditional take on assistive technology, but a combination of those two things. We do not disregard anything because it is old, and we do not automatically accept something because it is new. So that's the kind of overview of what assistive technology looks like here at Leeds. So my role in particular, because I enjoy talking about myself, my role is I'm responsible for advising students on how they can utilize assistive technology and training students and staff on the benefits and usage of assistive technology. I'll also play a part in ensuring the university has a portfolio of assistive technology that meets the needs of the students and that related resources and information are maintained to a high standard. That's a lot of bump to take in one go, and to be honest, is it particularly relevant? This was the text that I had when I got the job from the job description, and it does give us some kind of insight into what I can do for students here. I can help students find technology that will help them. I can help students upkeep the technology that they already have to ensure that it functions properly, and I can try and talk to students about ideas that they have. Now, it's not just students that I work with staff to try and raise awareness of assistive technologies and the issues surrounding assistive technologies, issues faced by disabled students, students with learning difficulties, students with learning challenges or issues, if you like that terminology. So it's a multifaceted role, and this is what it looks like in the university itself. I offer student and staff workshops around assistive technology. That means groups of people can come to me and talk and learn about either particular cluster technology that we have here at university, or searching for mobile apps, or looking at different adaptive technologies, or looking at some of the issues that surround assistive technologies by way of raising awareness, by way of helping people learn or helping people become more comfortable in the way that they are working. I also offer student one-to-one sessions regarding assistive technology. Now that's either through Disability Services referral from the support worker team, or a direct referral from students themselves. That means that you and I, if you so think that you have the need, would sit in a room with each other, have a chat about what assistive technology you already use, because of course I don't want to be offering you things that you already know about, because then I would be wasting both of our time. But we would discuss assistive technology, we would discuss the issues that you may be facing, and we would discuss how we may try to alleviate those issues using certain technologies from a wide range of areas. I also look after the technology that I issue to students, so I'm the person that tries to fix things every now and again, and the assessment and upkeep of assistive technologies and accessibility of new technology. I'm always trying to make sure that people know about new technology. I'm always trying to make sure that people know how to get and where to get that new technology. And one of my roles in the university is to ensure that that technology is available to all our students. Now, to get an idea of some of the things that students ask me and some of the problems that we face when it comes to assistive technology, here are some quotations, direct quotations from students who have given permission to use them within this particular presentation. Now, the first one, some people have a little bit of a chuckle at the first one, but let me give you a little bit more information about the situation. This particular student was using a non-traditional ergonomic mouse that they had not used before, and therefore they were not particularly familiar with the button layout of that mouse. So sometimes my job is about helping students to learn about new pieces of equipment and helping students to get the most out of the pieces of equipment that they have received or want to use. But even if it was a more traditional mouse, there are students who are very, very familiar with technology and very comfortable using technology, but of course there are students who are not. And that means that in some cases I have to go through the basics with certain students, and that is absolutely okay, because what I like to do is I like to meet students where they are rather than where I hope that they should be. And in some cases that means starting from the very bottom, taking it extremely slowly and ensuring the student is confident with the technology that they want to use before we move on. And I have absolutely no problem with that, and neither should anybody else. The next one, I need something to help organize my time. I feel like I'm drowning. Now, one of the interesting things for me is that when it comes to assistive technology, one of the most requested types of technology are organizational tools. Things that help students to organize their time, their planning, their academic study, all these different things. And it's interesting to me, working with a whole range of technologies, that this is possibly number one when it comes to requests. So in this case, we look at certain things that will help students to organize their time, organize their study, and even organize some of the pastoral pursuits that they are trying to maintain. So we look at calendar apps, we look at timekeeping apps, we look at timers, we look at to-do lists, we look at habit trackers, all these things, and we look at combinations of these things. We look at things like trigger apps, like if this then this, if that then this, if IFTTT, which allows you to automatically do a task if you've done another task. So if you save an email, a date from that email you could automatically send to a calendar, and so on and so forth, lessening cognitive load, increasing your organization, hopefully allowing you an easier time at university, because let's be honest, it's a lot to take on board, and it is sometimes a very large change for many different students. And also the last one I have is, I don't feel confident using this. Is there anything else? Now, there is absolutely, I do not like to force technology onto students. I'm more than happy to work with students who have their own way of working, their own processes, because at the end of the day, you are the experts in your own learning. However, what I do like to do is I like to offer alternatives to ways that people already might be working with, or alternative types of technology that students or staff may be unfamiliar with, just by way of raising awareness and by way of just pointing out that there may be something out there that may be a little bit more useful than the things that they're working with already. But of course, like I say, it's about comfort, and who am I to tell somebody to work in a different way to what they feel comfortable with and what they're efficient with. That is, of course, assuming they are efficient in that way of working. So those are some of the questions that come up in the sessions. There are hundreds of more as well, but of course I'm here to try and help in any way, shape and form that I can, as is the rest of the team at Disability Services. So just to finish off, I'm going to include a link to this presentation, so you'll be able to use these links here at the last page. Some useful links for you to take away with. The new AT Resources site that I have just finished building should be up by the time that you will receive this quick tutorial video. So if you click on the link there, that should take you to your AT Resources page. Underneath is the Student Workshop sign-up page, which is an Eventbrite page to sign up to some of the student workshops that I have or that will start in October. Don't be too concerned about missing certain things, because it will be a rolling course. So once the course is finished, once the sessions have gone, there'll always be a chance for you to catch up with them again at a later date. And of course, with that, I'll be coupling them with instructional videos very much like the one that I'm doing at the moment. And then what we have at the bottom there is we have the university system, the Minerva Assistive Technology page, which is a treasure trove of useful technology for you to try out with if you so wish to. Okay, that's it from me. Hopefully I'm going to see some of you when you start term this academic year. As I say, you can contact me on the contact details on my first page here. Don't hesitate to contact me. No question is too silly. I'm more than happy to answer anything that I possibly can. So my contact details, once again, my email details are t.m.starkey@leeds.ac.uk. My phone number is 0113 34 34836, and my room number is G88. I look forward to seeing some of you when term starts, or even excuse me, before term starts. If you want any information, please just drop me a line, and hopefully you're having a good day. This has been me, Tom Starkey, Assistive Technology Advisor for disability services. Okay, have a good rest of the day now.